Have you ever noticed how the best celebrations aren't always the most expensive ones? Maybe it was that quiet anniversary dinner at home, the grandkids' laughter over a homemade cake, or the family slideshow that brought tears to everyone's eyes. After retirement, milestones take on a new meaning. It's less about the price tag and more about the memories we create. So today, let's talk about how to celebrate life's big moments after retirement without spending a fortune, but still making them unforgettable. When people step into retirement, the idea of a big celebration often shifts in meaning. Earlier in life, we measured milestones by the number of guests, the size of the venue, or how much we spent. There was pressure to make each event feel grand, a reflection of success, not sentiment. But as years pass, many realize that the most treasured celebrations aren't the loud ones. They're the ones filled with peace, gratitude, and togetherness. Redefining what big means starts with asking a simple question: what really makes a moment memorable? For many retirees, it's the sense of connection that stands out, not the champagne or fancy dinners. A couple celebrating their 50th anniversary shared that their favorite memory wasn't the trip to Paris they once took, but the quiet evening they spent at home, listening to the same song they danced to at their wedding. They lit one candle, shared stories, and laughed over how young they looked in their wedding photos. It was simple, yet deeply emotional. That night didn't cost much, but it carried a lifetime's worth of love. This change in perspective doesn't mean giving up celebration. It means removing the noise that often distracts from it. When big becomes about presence instead of presentation, even the smallest gestures take on new depth. A handwritten letter to your spouse, a toast shared with your children, or a meal cooked together can become the highlight of your year. In this phase of life, meaning tends to outweigh magnitude. It's less about showing others what you can do and more about cherishing what you already have. Some retirees find that scaling down makes space for reflection. A quiet dinner at home might lead to heartfelt conversations that would never happen in a crowded restaurant. A walk through an old neighborhood can spark stories that remind you how far you've come. When celebration slows down, appreciation speeds up. There's also something freeing about letting go of expectations. You don't have to match what others are doing or what you did in the past. You can celebrate your way. A sunset with your partner, a cup of tea with a friend, or an afternoon revisiting old letters. Those moments may not seem grand on the surface, but they hold a kind of richness money can't replicate. Redefining big is really about recognizing that the heart remembers connection far longer than it remembers cost. Making a milestone a family project turns a single day into a shared story. It brings everyone together with purpose, giving each person a small role in something meaningful. After retirement, celebrations can sometimes feel different. The guest lists get smaller, the pace slows down, and the focus shifts from impressing to connecting. That's where involving the family brings new life into these moments. It turns what could be a quiet dinner into a memory woven with laughter, creativity, and teamwork. When the whole family joins in, it's not just a party anymore. It's a collaboration across generations. The grandkids might design a handmade invitation or help bake a favorite dessert. Adult children might gather old photos or put together a short video of past milestones. Even something as simple as everyone writing down one favorite memory can become the highlight of the celebration. The joy isn't only in the final event, but in the process of creating it together. It's the phone calls, the small disagreements about which picture to include, and the shared laughter when someone finds an embarrassing photo from the 80s. Those moments build connection before the celebration even begins. For many families, these joint efforts create a new rhythm of togetherness. Instead of the older generation always hosting or planning, the next generation takes part in honoring shared history. It gives younger family members a chance to understand the deeper meaning behind the milestone. Why it matters, what was learned along the way, and what traditions might be worth carrying forward. It also allows retirees to feel included without feeling pressured to manage every detail or spend beyond their comfort. There's something deeply heartwarming about seeing a child's excitement over helping decorate or hearing a grandchild say, "I made this for you." The act of participation itself becomes a gift. The milestone turns into a mirror reflecting love in small, intentional ways. And because everyone has contributed, the day carries the energy of shared pride rather than passive attendance. When families create together, they aren't just marking a date, they're reinforcing their bond. Each laugh, story, and photo stitched into that celebration becomes part of the family's collective memory. Long after the cake is gone, what stays is the feeling of having built something together. And that sense of belonging, that teamwork across generations, is what gives retirement milestones their real sparkle. Focusing on experiences over expenses changes how we view celebration altogether. It reminds us that joy doesn't need to come wrapped in receipts or reservations. What makes a moment memorable is rarely the money behind it. It's the connection, the emotion, and the story it creates. After retirement, this mindset becomes even more powerful because time feels richer than any currency, and experiences shared with loved ones often mean more than anything money could buy. Think about the difference between an expensive dinner out and a simple meal cooked together at home. The restaurant might offer polished service, but at home, you can linger over memories while the scent of something familiar fills the air. The sound of laughter in your own kitchen, the playful teasing over who burned the toast, or the grandkids running around the table. Those are the details that stay with you. Experiences like these don't require a big budget, just intention and presence. Some retirees have discovered beautiful ways to create experiences around milestones without spending much at all. One couple celebrated a major anniversary by hosting a storytelling evening in their backyard. Each guest was asked to share one memory or funny story about the couple. By the end of the night, there were tears, laughter, and a deep sense of appreciation that no restaurant could have provided. Another retiree celebrated his birthday with a gratitude walk, inviting his family to stroll through their old neighborhood while sharing what they were thankful for. It cost nothing but meant everything. The heart of experience-based celebration lies in participation. Instead of buying entertainment, you create it. Instead of renting joy, you grow it through connection. This shift also helps remove financial stress that sometimes sneaks into milestone planning. When people let go of the need to impress, they open space for authenticity. A picnic, a shared hobby day, a sunset drive, or a game night can become a highlight simply because everyone was fully there. Not distracted, not rushing, just present. Over time, these small, experience-driven moments build a library of memories far more valuable than things that fade or break. They remind us that celebration isn't about what we spend, but how deeply we engage. And as many retirees eventually realize, the richest parts of life often happen in moments that cost almost nothing at all. There's something quietly transformative about celebrating by giving rather than receiving. It flips the usual idea of a milestone on its head. Most celebrations focus on being the center of attention. People bring you gifts, share kind words, and honor your achievements. But choosing to give on your special day turns it into a shared act of gratitude. It shifts the focus from what you've earned to what you can share, creating a sense of joy that lingers far longer than any material present. After retirement, many people find themselves reflecting on what truly brings meaning. The excitement of receiving fades with time, but the satisfaction of giving seems to grow deeper. One retired couple decided to mark their 40th anniversary by preparing 40 homemade meals for neighbors and friends. They delivered each one personally, often staying to chat for a few minutes. What they found was that those small exchanges, the smiles, the surprised faces, the heartfelt thank you, made them feel more alive than any formal party could have. Their milestone became less about looking back and more about spreading warmth forward. Giving can take many shapes, and it doesn't always involve money. Some people celebrate birthdays or anniversaries by volunteering together at a local shelter or planting trees in a nearby park. Others might organize a simple kindness day with family, where each person chooses one thoughtful thing to do for someone else. These gestures create ripples of positivity that extend beyond the family itself, turning the celebration into a collective moment of goodness. There's also something grounding about this approach. It reminds us that milestones aren't just about marking time. They're about acknowledging the connections that have supported us along the way. By giving, you acknowledge that joy multiplies when it's shared. For many retirees, this shift from receiving to giving helps them feel more purposeful. It turns a personal event into a community moment and often inspires others to think differently about how they celebrate too. The beauty of giving lies in how it deepens emotional wealth. You may not remember every gift you've received over the years, but you'll remember the faces you've brightened, the causes you've helped, and the laughter shared while doing something kind. In the end, giving becomes its own celebration, a reminder that the heart finds its truest joy when it's open and generous. In a world where celebrations often get lost in spending, there's something powerful about choosing to capture memories instead of consuming more things. After retirement, every milestone becomes part of a personal legacy, a thread in the story you'll leave behind. Capturing those moments, not through excess, but through attention, allows you to hold on to what truly matters long after the decorations come down. It's about shifting from, "What did we buy?" to, "What did we feel?" Many retirees find joy in recording life's small, quiet moments. It could be snapping photos during a family gathering, writing a short reflection in a journal after a meaningful day, or asking someone to record the laughter around the dinner table. These simple acts freeze time in ways that no store-bought gift can. A picture of your grandchild handing you a handmade card, or a short video of your spouse telling a funny old story becomes more valuable than anything you could have purchased. It's not about being perfect or polished. It's about being real. Capturing memories also invites reflection. Looking back on photos or listening to an old recording brings back emotions and details that might have faded otherwise. Some families create shared digital albums where everyone uploads their favorite snapshots from each milestone, creating a living archive of their story. Others prefer something tactile, a scrapbook filled with handwritten notes, ticket stubs, and little keepsakes. The goal isn't to document every second, but to hold on to the spirit of the moment, the laughter between words, the feeling behind the smiles. By focusing on capturing rather than consuming, celebrations become less about fleeting pleasures and more about lasting meaning. You don't need a fancy camera or a professional setup. Even a quick voice memo of a toast or a few candid photos can preserve the essence of a day. It's a gentle way of saying, "This mattered." Over time, these small efforts turn into a family treasure chest that grows richer with each milestone. This approach also helps reduce the stress that sometimes comes with celebration. You're not chasing perfection or worrying about appearances. You're simply present, soaking in the moment. Because in the end, what remains after the food is eaten and the lights are turned off are the stories we captured. The proof that our lives were full, connected, and deeply loved. When you start viewing milestones as chapters rather than isolated occasions, everything about celebration begins to feel more meaningful. Instead of seeing each birthday, anniversary, or family achievement as a one-day event, it becomes part of an unfolding story, a moment in a longer journey. Retirement especially brings this shift into focus. The pace slows, reflection deepens, and every experience starts to feel connected to something bigger. You begin to see that each milestone isn't just marking time, it's marking growth, change, and continuity. This mindset takes away the pressure to make each celebration perfect. You don't have to outdo last year's gathering or plan something elaborate. What matters most is honoring where you are in life and the people who've walked that path with you. A small get-together can become a meaningful ritual when it's framed as part of an ongoing story. One retiree shared that he no longer calls his birthdays parties. Instead, he calls them chapters. Each year, he reflects on what he's learned, who's entered his life, and what he's looking forward to next. It's a subtle shift, but it transforms the tone of the day from nostalgia to gratitude. Celebrating this way also keeps family connections strong. When milestones are seen as chapters, they invite others into the story. Children and grandchildren start to understand that these moments are not just about marking age or achievement, but about appreciating shared time. It becomes a way of teaching family history without needing a lecture. Each chapter gives context, reminding everyone where they've come from and what values hold them together. There's also a sense of calm that comes with this perspective. It's easy to feel that life's big moments are behind us once we retire, but viewing milestones as chapters reminds us that new experiences still await. Learning a new skill, traveling somewhere new, or even starting a small tradition can be part of this continuing book of life. It turns aging into authorship. You're still writing, still shaping your story. In the end, this way of celebrating helps you see life not as a collection of isolated events, but as a flowing narrative. Each milestone adds another layer to your story, another page filled with meaning. And the beauty is that you're still holding the pen. The truth is, celebrating after retirement doesn't need to look like it used to. It's about slowing down, savoring what matters, and letting connection be the real luxury. Whether it's through shared meals, stories, or acts of kindness, these moments become the heartbeats of your golden years. How do you like to celebrate milestones in your family? Share your story in the comments. You might just inspire someone else's next unforgettable day.